must unlearn what you have learned.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No. Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
I think Yoda explained it quite simply. That's all I have to say, so you can leave if you like. For those that are questionably interested in a stranger's opinion, they may only hear once in their lifetime, to which I question why me, when there are arguably better strangers to listen to. I want to explore what the purpose of storytelling is through my personal experience. I've been thinking. We all tend to do that. At least, that's what I tell myself. Wouldn't it be comforting to know that others concern themselves with thought of some capacity throughout the day? Most of my thoughts are simple, primitive really. What to eat, when to do calculus work, when not to do calculus work, when to fill up gas even though the dial has been on less than a gallon for about 2 days. Ignore that last one actually. Sometimes, among the daily decisions we are also unfortunately burdened with due to our human condition, an occasional idea with merit emerges. A work of fiction, or non-fiction, it depends really on the person. Why does the idea have merit, you ask? Who knows? I mean, I certainly don't. But when these ideas hit me, I feel it. I know there's some worth. So, what do you do with these ideas? You can't just procure a bottle and capture it like a firefly, though some could, assuming they exist in a metaphysical space. And I assume you as well, are not quite as lucky. Our brains love to forget, to procrastinate, and to fixate on primitive thoughts. As far as I am aware, there is no patch for this glitch. I will notify you if anything changes, though, in the future. Until then, we're stuck with the raw ideas. Boundless potential resides within. A fantasy trilogy of novels that explore ambition, identity, faith, and tyranny. A 3D printed set of armor, polished after weeks of painstaking sanding and re-sanding. A gym routine that you actually enjoy and isn't some stranger's absurd vision. Another stranger for clarity, not me. And a dream to finally read Don Quixote after buying it 3 years ago in a cocky literature hit, only to realize that flowery prose is only sometimes your thing. Each of these has potential, but they fade the longer we let them sit. Each is a story or a fragment of a story. While some pertain to your personal story, others can exist on their own, though coincidentally, their existence is a testament to fulfilling your personal story. To actualize said story, action must be taken. Action sounds easy in concept. You pressed on this video, thus taking an action. However, we all know that an action's difficulty is relative. For example, staying in bed for hours is quite a comfortable action. I must say so myself. Running a marathon seems impossible without experience, and is therefore an uncomfortable action. And tax fraud is debatable, but legally I will say no more. To take action is to put oneself from a stagnant place of comfort into a new, uncharted terrain. Action from the heels of inertia acts as a tool for change and therefore creation. Creating something from nothing is uncomfortable because that something doesn't exist yet. You become a pioneer, but you will never reach that status if no steps are taken along the trail. Remember, just writing down a few words, cementing an idea in physical space, makes it tangible, real. The hard part, starting, is done. The next steps will follow, but they are nothing compared to the start. Work becomes easier as time progresses. Before long, what was a seed will sprout into a beautiful flower. That's the beauty of stories. They start with a spark. It burns, but only as long as you blow on it. A flame comes with time and commitment to your vision. Remember, you are the author of your own story. You choose what to do and what not to do. You will stress, and you most certainly will fail. I'm sorry to break it to you. But those are core steps. They become part of the story in their own way. By the time you finish your story, you'll look back on the empire you formed with your own 2 hands. Unless you have more than 2 hands, to which I envy you. I can't guarantee you'll be satisfied, but I can guarantee it will happen with progress. Before you consider delaying that thing that gnaws on your very soul, remember the words of Master Yoda. Do or do not. There is no try. In the end, what you create is just that. What you don't isn't. So what's the point? Why do we tell stories? Don't burn me at the stake for saying this, but I honestly don't know. I want to say it's up for us to decide that. Maybe it's just to amend a personal conviction. Maybe your story is in service of another to bring them joy. Maybe it's an apology. I do know that whatever your story may be, it's meant to be told. And maybe that alone is enough of a reason. If I exist to do nothing else but tell stories, then I think I'll be alright. And now I ask you, what's your story, my friend?